So as we start our third day in lesson 1.2, let's do a little bit of review here. What you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other side. Yeah. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. So you don't get to just do it on one side. You have to keep the equation balanced. Remember, we talked about being fair. You have to keep the equation balanced. Well, to be able to undo addition, to get that variable by itself, what do we use? We use subtraction. So we undo addition by subtraction. We undo addition by subtraction, and we undo subtraction by addition. One undoes the other. Somebody gives you $5. That's like an addition. They take it back. That's a subtraction. It's the same as it was before it all happened, right? Okay. Today our objective is we're going to be solving equations by adding the opposite. Okay, so we're going to see a new set of types of problems, and we're going to need to add the opposite. So let's talk about what opposites are first of all, okay? Well, maybe we'll get there in a second. Undo the addition of a negative number. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to undo the addition of a negative number by adding its opposite to both sides. So we have this negative number that's being added to the variable. To undo that, we'll add its opposite. What is the opposite? What does that mean? What is the definition of opposites? I kind of started for us. The opposite of a number is the other number on the number line, the same distance from zero. Yeah, the same distance from zero. So when you think of opposites in math, you're really thinking of a number that's on the number line and the other number on the number line that is exactly the same distance from zero. Okay, so let's do some examples. What's the opposite of 4? Negative 4. Yeah. Negative 4 is 4 units from 0. Positive 4 is 4 units from 0. How about negative 10? What's its opposite? 10. They're both 10 units from 0. What's 1/3 opposite? Negative 1/3. And that means they're both 1/3 of a unit away from 0. They would meet at 0 at the same time if they start out going the same rate. How about negative 0 and 5/10? What's its opposite? 0 and 5/10. What is 0 and 5/10? What's another name for it? A half? Yeah, 1/2. Okay. So negative 1/2, positive 1/2, same distance from 0. What do you think 0's opposite is? 0. 0 is the only number that is its own opposite because it's sitting on top of, it's part of the definition, isn't it? How far am I from 0? Well, I am 0. So I am also my opposite. Okay, so let's look at, we're actually doing, you can get your books open to page 18. We're going to need it on the back side anyway. Get your books open to page 18. And we're going to do, we're on objective 3, example 3. So we're going to do the check it out problems below that example box. So they have an example there for you, but we're going to do, so above the student box, how many are there that we're going to do today?
3.
3 of them. So we're going to start with this first one, 3A, that I've already written down for you. This is like the objective says. We have a negative being added to the variable. So what did it say we're going to do? How are we going to undo adding a negative? What did it say up there we're going to do? What was in the objective? We're going to undo the addition of a negative number by what? Adding its opposite. So what number do we need to add to this side to undo that negative 2.3? We need to add its opposite, which is what? Say it louder for me. No? That one we don't mess with. We're looking on the side where the variable is, we want that alone.
2.3.
Yeah, so we're going to add 2.3, the opposite of negative 2.3. Negative 2 3/10, we're going to add 2 3/10. Well, we have to do it on the other side also, remember, because whatever we do on one side, we do on the other to keep it balanced, to keep it fair. So when we add
7, on this side, remember they take care of each other.
I can make 7 into a decimal by what? What do I have to do to it? Make it look like a decimal like 2.3 is.
Can I just put 0.0? Can I do this?
That makes it a little easier to add, right?
So 0 plus 3 is 3. Bring down the decimal point. 7 plus 2 is 9. We say that the solution is 9 and 3/10, 9.3. Okay, now what do we do? Check problem. Okay, let's do our check problem. When we do a check problem, we write the equation down as it started. We're going to check. Remember, that's how we check. We write down the equation, we underline it. Coming down from the equal sign, we put a vertical line. And in the first step, we are actually substituting. So we're going to take negative, we're not solving anymore. We've already solved this. We're just checking our solution. So we're going to substitute in our 9 and 3/10 for that m. This side needs no evaluating. It does not need any evaluating. It's 7 is 7. We're not going to mess with that. Over here, this can be evaluated. We can actually put those together. So if you have a negative 2 and 3/10, and you're going to add to it a 9 and 3/10, what do you actually get? Maybe we should think of it like this. If you owe somebody $2.30, and you pay them back $9.30, you still owe them money, or are you even, or are you to the good now? You have credit, don't you? How much credit do you have? $7. If you owe them $2.30, you gave them $9.30, and they're like, wait a minute. You only owe me $2.30. You now are $7 to the good. You have a $7 credit with me, but of course they keep it because they know you're going to borrow from them again. Okay, so 7 is what we get on the left side. It does match the right side. It checks. So any part of that we don't understand. Questions? Go to the back side then. Write down the equation that we have to solve for 3b. Suggestions for what we're going to do in this one? Be bold, come on. Subtract 3/4? Okay, let's remember, let's look at this. This is, can we read addition backwards? Can we go like this, z plus negative 3/4? Can we read it that way? Hey, those of you who are working ahead and not engaged with me at the moment, would you give me some eye contact, please? I don't care. I still want some eye contact. I want to engage you. So, can we, the question was, can we read this as z plus negative 3/4? Is that okay? Why not? So you're telling me that 4 plus 5 is not the same as 5 plus 4? Can I do that? Can I do 4 plus 5 and then I can read it instead 5 plus 4? Can I do that? Yeah, because they both equal what? 9. So I can read this backwards because it has addition, and I can see that negative 3/4 is being added. So to undo adding a negative, what do? Add its opposite. So we're going to add 3/4 to both sides. Not subtract. We're going to add 3/4 to both sides. And that gets taken care of. Their opposites, they become 0. When they have the same denominator, can we just go ahead and add them? Yeah. We got 5 of them, and we got 3 more. How many do we have?
8.
8 altogether, so we have 8/4. 8/4 is also known as 4. In other words, you know what? This is what this says. How many 4s are in 8? 2. Z equals 2. Z equals 2. So that's what we think our solution is. Okay, well, you know what, folks? Even though our solution is 2, we renamed it as 2, did we not? When we check it, I'm kind of having a feeling that maybe using its other name, 8/4 is going to be friendlier. What do you think? Yeah? So when we check it, let's get our check problem set up. We have negative 3/4 plus our z equal to 5/4. And we could put 2 in there, but we also know that 2 came from 8/4, and since there's all these fourths in the problem, wouldn't 8/4 work better? So let's substitute it in its 8/4 name instead. Because it's the same number, it has the same location on the number line. This is just a different name for it. And now we can say, okay, we have a negative 3/4 plus 8/4. So we really, what we end up doing is, we're going to ignore the fourths for a minute. We're going to say, let's have that 3 be negative then, okay? So we have a negative 3 plus 8. What is negative 3 plus 8? 3 below 0. Temperature rises 8 degrees. Where's it at now? 3 below 0. The temperature raises 8 degrees. It's at positive 5, isn't it? So this becomes a positive 5, and those are fourths. We bring down the rest of it that doesn't have anything we can do with it and see if they match, and they do. Okay, questions? Okay. When we do this last one, go ahead and write this last one down. We're gonna do something just a little bit different than what we did with the other ones, but we talked about it. If this works better for you, remember we just said addition, the parts can trade places. So if it would work better for you to have these guys trade places and rewrite this equation like this, do it. I mean, let's do this one in our notes like this. Let's have a, this is an option. So then when we have them trade places, because it's addition, that's the only reason we can, is because it's addition. When we have them trade places, now we can see, you know what, to get x alone, here's what's going on. There's a negative number being added to it, so I need to do what to undo adding a negative? Add its opposite. Yeah. What is the opposite of negative 11? 11. So now x is by itself. 33 plus 11. 44. I love the number 11. It's so fun to work with. X equals 44. Okay, you go ahead and do your check problem. You can do it from that one or the renamed way. Yep, either way.
We can just do it the way we focus
Oh, you mean leaving it like this?
now.
Yeah. Let me.
Adding 11x.
Okay, I'll come see what you're talking about. Make sure I'm not saying yes to something I shouldn't.
Just what we've been doing for all the others.
Yeah, just like we've been doing for all the others.
So it's asking.
Okay. Does it check out?
Yeah.
Is a negative 11 plus 44 really 33?
No.
Or kind of think of it like this: if you have $44 in your pocket and you owe somebody $11 and you pay them back, how much money are you going to have left? $33. Yep. So it does actually add up to be 33, and it does actually check then. Okay. So this is the new thing you're practicing today. Tomorrow I'll add one more thing, and then tomorrow when you're doing your homework, you need to get out all your notes, because each day we have practiced the type that was in the notes. But tomorrow is going to be a combined assignment where you're going to practice everything we've learned so far in this particular lesson. Okay, you can get to work on your homework.